What's up, Unique Squad? It's Unique Nala and I'm back with a brand new video. Welcome to VLOGMAS Day 2. Y'all, I managed to get through day 1. So in today's video, I'm gonna be telling y'all a story time on how this teacher, tried to pick on me and bother me and stuff. So with that being said, before we get into this video, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, give the video a big thumbs up, share this video. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is Nala. If you're not, welcome back. All right, y'all, so I don't want to give no names out. Okay, so we just gonna name the teacher that was picking on me. We're gonna name her, I don't know, Redhead. And then we're gonna name the other teacher, the teacher class that I got moved into, we're gonna name her, shoot, I don't know either, Chair, I guess. And then the other teacher who I was cool with, we're gonna just call her Mama Number 2, because that's what she is to me. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and get things started. So it's my 7th grade year in school. This was when I was in 7th grade. And oh, by the way, if y'all hear something in the background, it's my baby sister. Do not mind her, but she quiet or whatever. But anyways, yeah, so basically 7th grade year had happened or whatever. Okay, so boom, we go to the classes or whatever, and I have her or whatever, right? So in the beginning of the school year, it was good or whatever because I was new, but I had knew some kids already, and plus people I started getting well known at that school in 7th grade. So, it's going good or whatever, Mind you, I'm a straight A student. The teachers know how I am. I'm a cool, good student. I'm not talkative. I'm not a bad student. I'm not disrespectful. I'm a good student. I'm just that type of student. Okay, so probably when it was almost towards the end of the school year, it just, started at one point in time where the teacher would move us in the school, in the classroom, and like, it was me and these other few students. It was my best friend. Well, she's not my best friend no more. We're still friends, but, yeah, it was, I'm gonna just name her best friend in this, but she's not my best friend now, just so y'all don't get it mixed up. And then it was these 2 other people. The other person who, I'm gonna call him brother because people say we look alike. So I'm gonna call him brother, and then the other one, I'm gonna call him brother number 2 because he's like a brother to me, still to this day. So me, best friend, brother, and brother number 2 would always like be together in class, and sometimes we would talk, and the teacher would correct us, and we would get quiet, do our work or whatever. Mind not, we all still getting our work done. All of us is like AB students, okay? So, mind you, brother number 1 is real, like, I'ma just give it the word popular around the school, especially in middle school. So everybody know him, this and that. And he talks a lot, but not in a way where he would get in trouble. So he gets his work done, this and that, So it's like the first occasion situation that happened, we in class, right? And we was sitting in a group. It was like us 4 in this table. That's the crazy part. It was me, best friend, brother, and brother number 2. We was all sitting in this group of a table. And you know how the tables, the desk is like put together. It's like 2 this way and 2 facing this way. Basically, that's how it was. And we was like in the back of the classroom. So we was doing like this little project thing. I won't call it a project, but it was like a worksheet thing. So basically, we could talk a little bit here and there. But as long as we getting our work done, we getting our work done. So Redhead, Miss Redhead, I'm gonna say Miss because it's a teacher. Miss Redhead was like, it was hot in her class because her class was in the trailers outside of the school. So we're in the trailers or whatever. It's already hot. It's like summer, getting close to summertime. So it's hot. So she has the fan. So we're like, oh, can you push the fan this way? She didn't want to do that because she went to herself. So I'm like, you know what, cool, whatever. I'm not tripping about that. So then y'all, after that or whatever, right? So how about it was me and best friend sitting the same way, and then you got brother and brother number 2 sitting this way, like facing towards us. So, Miss Redhead cannot have like all these type of smells and stuff, which we did not know until the situation happened and she let it be known. So, she was like, it was like it was hot and it was stank in that trailer room anyway. So me and best friend was sitting by each other and it was like, it stinks. So I had perfume in my bag because I always carry perfume, lotion, whatever. So she goes in my book bag and she sprays it or whatever, but she doesn't spray a lot. She sprays like a little bit in below the chair. So it was like the teacher, Miss Redhead, was tripping for no reason. So this particular day, Miss Redhead was already mad for no reason, being rude to kids for no reason, and for some reason she felt the nerve that she had to pick on me. So, and brother, because I don't know why, but she felt the nerve that she had to do that. So next thing you know, she starts like, it's a fan by us, but it's not directly by us. So best friend didn't realize when she sprayed it that the perfume started going around the classroom, because everybody was like, oh, what's that smell, and they're like, who sprayed perfume? And then me and best friend was like, oh, we did, stink in the classroom. So then we see where Miss Redhead starts kind of getting, she just started kind of getting even more rude. So she was like, who sprayed that? Why would you spray that? I am allergic, I can't have those type of smells, this and that. And we were like, oh, we didn't know, sorry. So then we put it away. We put it up immediately. We got the fan. She opened her door because it was by, outside, so she could open the door, get the smell out, so nothing would happen. Mind you, now she's not coughing, she's not sweating, she's not doing anything, nothing that can show she's about to have allergic reaction. So she's just basically doing the most for no reason. So she goes on with her little whatever, talking or whatever. So we're back to just getting quiet. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing, but we're like talking quietly in our little table group. So then next thing you know, something else happened. She said something. She was like, why did you spray it again? And we're like, we didn't spray it, we put it up. So brother was like, she just put it up, this and that. So then that's when she told brother, she was like, get out my classroom. And brother was like, what did I do? And she was like, get out my classroom and tidy this and that. So he didn't do nothing and she's already picking on him. So I'm like, you picking on him for what? What again now? Come again? So that was that situation. And then after she put him out her class, she was like, who perfume is it? And I was like, mine's. Because it was mine, ain't nothing to lie about. So then that's when she was like, you can get out my classroom too. So I was like, why do I have to get out of your classroom? And she was like, because I told you not to spray it and you sprayed it, and I just told you that I can't have allergic reaction, I can't have all those smells by me. So I'm like, okay, I didn't spray it, and when you told me to put it up, me and best friend put it up. So why are you putting me out again? So then she was like, get out my classroom, phone call home to your mama, this and that, And I'm like, I didn't even do nothing to you. So then I grabbed my stuff and I left out the classroom because she wanted me to do that. So guess what? I did what she told me to do. And I walked back in the building. I wasn't able to get in the building, but I found a way. And she basically called my mama or whatever. And me and mama talked after that. That day later. But what made me mad was the fact that everybody in the class, brother number 2 even stressed it. Brother number 2 was like, no, best friend, the girl, my best friend at that current time, she was like, no, best friend sprayed the perfume. And best friend said herself, she was like, yeah, I sprayed the perfume. If you're gonna put somebody out, you can put me out because I sprayed the perfume, but we put it away after you told us to. And she was like, no, it's her perfume, she sprayed it. So I'm like, so now you just going with what you heard in your head, because if you hear the whole class, innocent kids in the class too, she's like, they're telling you like, no, best friend sprayed it, best friend just said she sprayed it, Nyla didn't do it, and she still wants to put me out of class. So that was first strike first. So I was like, you know what, I'm not tripping about it. We're gonna leave it at that, and we're just gonna go, I'm just going by my day. So, my mom taught me, she was like, well, just don't bring perfume. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever, I won't. I left it home, didn't have a situation like that again, left it at that. So then it's this other situation where she moved me in the class. So she moved me in class because me and best friend were talking. And she told us to be quiet, so we got quiet. And then best friend asked me for a pencil, so I was giving her a pencil. So she moved me to the back by her desk on the opposite side where we were sitting at. And so I didn't say nothing. I wasn't even tripping about it. But get this, y'all just hold on, wait a minute. Y'all just finna, this is finna get even more situation finna get. Okay. So then next thing you know, she moved me or whatever, and she told me, she was like, stop, you know, this and that, da da da. Now I'm a straight A student. I don't get in trouble in none of my other classes. This is the only class this is the only teacher that I have a problem with. So I was not tripping about it, because it was like, the teachers know what type of student I am. I may talk sometimes, but I get my work done. I'm cool with all of my teachers. I get along with the students in the class. So that's how I know it was this specific teacher just picking on me. Okay, so boom. Next thing you know, the day went on, maybe about the next week, a situation happened, and with me and that teacher, and then best friend was trying to take up for me. So then she was like, best friend, I need you to say So she put me in her class again. So when she put me in her class, I went back to my homeroom class, because that's just where, the only place I felt the need that I wanted to go. I either was gonna go there, or I either was gonna go to mama class. So when I noticed that, I think my homeroom class was in a computer lab or whatever, so I didn't go there. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to mama number 2. So I go to mama number 2 class, and she's like, what done happened now? And I'm like, she put me in her class for no reason. I don't know why she put me in her class today. Maybe she wasn't in a good mood and she felt the need that she had to put me out. So she put me out, and then we go to lunch. So I'm sitting in mama number 2 class. So mama number 2 makes a phone call to my mama. She's like, she let my mama know what's going on, so that she don't think I did something wrong. I walked out of the class, so I let it be known or whatever. And then so then we went on about that day. Now this is the next day. So the next day or whatever, we're talking, and I think we were in either connections or the class after connections, or maybe the class after team teach. And you know, you got brother number 2 and best friend telling me like, oh, Miss Redhead was telling me that, you know, that best friend shouldn't hang around me because, you know, I'm a bad influence on her, and da 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 da. And I'm like, it was like, Nala talks too much, and Nala doesn't get her work done, and this and that, da da da. I already had her call her mama twice. She's not good influence. So she moved her seat. Basically, by this time, she done separated us all. She done separated the Fantastic Four, which we didn't have a problem with, because we had plenty of other classes to be together with that the teachers had no problem with. So we wasn't tripping about it. Okay, so boom. Next thing you know, that was that or whatever. And before we was able to get her class, I was upset, because it was like she was dragging my name, talking about me to other students. And when she made a phone call to best friend's mother, she told her that something about me. I don't know. No, I don't remember, but I think that was the case. So I was already upset, because you're not supposed to talk about nobody's other child unless it's a serious situation to another student's parent. You're not supposed to talk about another student to another student in a bad way. That's not being professional at all. So I had a problem with that. So once we go in class or whatever, I'm playing it cool. I went in there, I sat down, I just kept my mouth shut, because I knew it was going to be something. Like, something told me, go in that class, don't do nothing wrong, just keep your mouth shut. You know, something was just telling me that basically, you know, something's going to happen, so just try to avoid the situation from happening. So I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna play it cool. I'm not gonna, even though I was already upset about what the teacher was saying about me and what I had heard, and not from just best friend and brother number 2, from other students. So I kept it cool. I didn't say a word to her. She gave us our work. I sat quietly. She was teaching, but I was not. I was engaging, because I was writing my notes. I didn't have any questions or whatever, but I wasn't like responding back. Like if she would ask a question, I wasn't raising my hand. But other kids was doing that too. But that was not likely like me that day, because usually I participate, I answer questions, I ask questions, but that day for some reason I just wasn't, because of what she had said about me. So I'm still playing it cool, y'all. I'm playing it cool. So next thing you know, she's like, no, she calls on me, and I was still writing my notes, but I didn't respond to her. So then another student answered for me. She was like, I didn't ask you to answer. I wanted her, Nala, to answer. So I didn't answer, and I was like, I said, what was the question? So then she was like, you're not paying attention to my class, da-da-da, this and that, da-da. So she's like, you need to get your work done. You need to stop playing around. So, mind you, I'm trying to figure out, how in the world are you going to separate the Fantastic Four? Mind you, I talked to everybody in the class, but the fact that she moved me by her desk, I couldn't talk to anybody. So, and plus I didn't want to talk to anybody because I was already not in the mood. So her best bet was just to leave me alone and not bother me. So she couldn't repeat the question for me, but she repeated for other students. So she couldn't repeat the question. She said I was playing around when I was trying to figure out how and what could I do to be not paying attention and to be playing around. Because she clearly saw my notebook. I was writing notes. I did the warm-up. I was just quiet, and I was not responding to the questions. But it was a lot of kids not doing that. So why you coming at me? So then she was like, Mom, you're going to get suspended, this and that. And I'm like, so you're going to suspend me and call my mother for doing something that the other kids are not doing? How did that work? So then she steady, just like making side comments and being shady. So then she had to pass out these papers. Usually I was one of the ones who would help pass out the papers. This day I didn't do it. She did it herself. So she's giving everybody her papers like hand by hand. She's not telling, oh, pass it to this person. So when she gets to me, she passes the paper to one of the students, is like, pass it to Nala. So I was like, that's what we doing now? So I just kept my mouth shut. I was like, then she made a smart comment. I don't remember what the smart comment was, but I remember she said something smart to me. I remember she said something smart, and I got up and I walked out her class. Now, maybe I should never have walked out her class, but I had a right. Okay? I had every right to do that after I had heard what had been said about me, everything she was doing, and I was like, okay, this all makes sense. It's adding up now. So she's like, so the class is like, oh. So I went to mama number 2 class, and I let mama number 2 what's going on, and mama number 2 had let my mama know, because she had her number. So she talked to her for a minute on class, and she was like, okay, you have to write this down. I have to let the principal know. And she was like, but you should have just waited till after class and came to me at lunch, because now it's gonna look like you did something bad because you walked out her class during a teaching lesson. So I'm like, okay, you know what, that was right. But I still didn't go back to her class. So, that situation happened, and I probably didn't go to her class the rest of the week. I went to another class, and somebody was sending my work. So I left it at that. Then when it was time for me to go back to her class, she was being cool, I was being cool. But then we were doing math testing. The middle of the week, she makes a phone call to my mother and was like, can you check Nala's book bag to see if she took a computer or accidentally grabbed a laptop? So now you're accusing me of stealing a laptop. So then my mama, she didn't check my background. She was like, no, Nala didn't take one. Nala doesn't have a laptop. And she was like, oh, well, can you just look in her book bag? So my mom was like, bring me your book bag. And my mama looks, there's no laptop. She did it to the brother. She also did the brother and brother number 2, I think. Or maybe best friend, was one of them. And it was another colored student in my class that she did it to. So I'm like, no. My mom was like, no, Nala has her own laptop at home. Nala doesn't need to take a computer or whatever. So she was like, well, can you make sure Nala didn't take one? So I'm like, Mama, I didn't take one. And she was like, oh, okay. And then Whatever she said to my mom on the phone made it seem like I took a laptop. So my mom was like, did you grab a laptop from her class and take it to another class or something? I'm like, no, I didn't even touch a laptop. I did math testing and left it at that. So next thing you know, the next day, some students from another class were like, oh, Miss Redhead has a list of people who she think might have had misplaced the laptop. So my name was on the list, and it was only me and probably a couple of other students. So I'm like, you want to have a problem with me for what? So then I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna play it cool again. I'm playing it cool. So the next day after that, some other student came up to me towards the end of the day and was like, oh, she found it in one of the students' desks. One of the students from her last class had put it in the desk. And I'm like, and she wanted to do all of that for what? For what reason? For what? For what reason? So then that's when my mama and so that's when, you know, my mother and the assistant principal and the principal and one of the administrators had a meeting. And when they had their meeting, they moved me to another ELA class. So what I didn't know was that Miss Chair and Miss Redhead had a little connection, because they were still being rude to me. And I was just like, you know what? It's only a couple of more weeks left in this school or this grade. I am going to finish it out smooth. So my grades are still straight A, 90s, 100s, all 90s, 100s. And they're balancing out or whatever. But it was just still like some type of tension in between it. But you know what? I played the rest of the year cool, because I was just ready to get up out of that class, ready to get out of them classes, because I didn't have time for it, okay? But that was that. And that's the story of my 7th grade teacher picking on me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of Vlogmas Day 2. If you guys did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and without further ado, I will see you guys in my next video.